Sweden. And right now, two of them are here visiting us, enjoying the program tonight. And I wanted to welcome you especially. We are very happy that you're here, since building networks among Swedish and Ukrainian artists is what these events are all about. So, very welcome, Oksana Rodchenko. Where are you? Can you say hi? Welcome. And then we also have Polina Polochentseva. Please, would you stand up and say hi? Welcome. And maybe you can say hi also to your friends in the Ukraine and Poland, since we are streaming this event actually to our partners. The next Ukraine Artistic Meeting is on the 6th of November, and that night we will present some newly written plays and freshly translated plays in readings with actors from our Kulturhuset Stadsteatern ensemble. So next Ukraine meeting is all about the new plays. But for tonight, we have another treat for you. In cooperation with SWAN, the Swedish Artist Residency Network, we have invited the art collective Mycelium. 10 of the artists have traveled here from Småland to curate this evening for us. So please come on stage, Sergej, Nikita and Mariana. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone, we're glad to be here this evening. Do I need this microphone? Okay, so I'm glad to be here this evening. I'm glad to introduce my team. We from Ukraine, from Kherson region, so it's here on the stage it's me, Mariana and Nikita, and here you also can see maybe later it's Anton, it's Konstantin, it's Anastasia, Maria, Olha, and Sergej. We come today from Småland, from Tronos, from Nässjö. We live in that area now, almost 2.5 years in Sweden. So our team from Kherson, it's called Mycelium, and we was inspired by the nature, by the mushroom roots system that feed the forest, and the artist, it's like this networking that feed the city, the art scene. So we like little networking in the city. So yes, here today we also show some of our art that we create in Sweden and also in Ukraine that we take with us. Here we're not from our, it's not our, we not choose to be here, if I can say like this. We're here because of the war, and we never forgot about it, and we talk about it in our art, in our reflection. Yes. Little bit about our group that was created in 2020 in Ukraine. You can see now on the screen some of the video of our festival that we make in Ukraine and in Sweden. One of them was in our native town Kherson. Another one we made here in Sweden in Tronos last year. And yeah, some movies from there. Yes, how we create our team. It's like, now it's more than, no, it's huge networking. Some of people is here, some of people is still in Ukraine and in other part of Europe. So it was really interesting idea. We just gathering in a park with our friends in Kherson, and we have a meeting. Everyone want to do something. One want to play music, another one want to paint some artworks, another one have just an idea to make performances. So we create together some platform that we can express ourselves. And this is how it started. It was 3 ideas that we unite together and decide to do something. Yes. So this is how it is. And then we start also collaborate with other artists. And now here in Sweden we make a collaboration with different organizations, with different interesting artists. This evening you also can see a Swedish artist, performance artist. They make a performance soon. And after the war starts, we have an opportunity to take part in the Swan Art Residency program that invite us in Sweden, that we can continue to create, to do our art. So now we're here and we try to continue do our best to talk about Ukraine, to talk about communication, to try to unite the people with the art and express ourselves, try to search more opportunities and make our networking more and more. Yeah. Thank you that you're here today, tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. We will see more from you later. Next, there will be a conversation about collective self-organization, moderated by Eliana Ivarsson-Haddad, who is the operations manager at Swan. Welcome to the stage, Eliana.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself, Mycelium. It's such an honor to have you here in Stockholm today. Such an honor and such a miracle, maybe, in many ways, that we are all here in this space and time that's current. So, I would like to invite you all very welcome to this part of the program. That's a conversation on the theme of collective self-organization. And as introduced, I'm Eliana Ivarsdotter-Haddad, and I'm currently the operational manager of this organization, Swan, that has run a number of emergency residencies for Ukrainian artists, which is how you ended up, a part of how you ended up here. And together with us on stage, we have invited Andreas Ribbung to join us and meet you and network with you and the other artists, and to connect and represent the supermarket Stockholm Independent Art Fair, where you are the co-director, Andreas, among very many other things that you do. I will give you a chance to introduce yourself the way you want to. And then we have with us on stage, as previously presented, the artists Sergei Serko, Mariana Tarish, and Nikita, sorry, Rishko, no, Grishko is how you say it. Yes, it's pronounced as well. Now I know it. It's such a good thing to know. Thank you all for being here and for showing and installing this amazing exhibition in an amazingly short time. Just a few hours ago, this was an empty space. Before we start the conversation, I would like to start off with a quote. And this quote is from a text that was presenting a conference from a couple of years ago about self-organization. And it's just a brief text that's describing the theme. And in this text it says, "Self-organization as a phenomenon is present in several areas of our environment. In nature, fish organize themselves so that they swim in structured swarms. Thereby, they find the shortest route to food sources. Trees of the same species communicate with each other through extensive shared root systems that supply the weaker trees with nutrients. Fireflies synchronize their blinking. So, just for a start, and in order to, well, I think this is kind of painting a nice background picture. We have a very nice background picture, which is also correlating, I think, to some of these things about self-organization in nature. But that was to start off with a background picture for our conversation on the theme of collective self-organization. To start off with a first question, just to get some background, we already heard a little bit of the background, but to start, I'm just wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the group that you work with now, and how it started, and how you ended up where you are now, and maybe because we were talking a little bit about how the background of Mycelium before, maybe I will start with directing the question at you, Andreas. Would you like to begin with the story of the group or several different groups of self-organized artist collective that you work with and how you ended up where you are?
Yeah, I'm an artist myself, but 20 years ago I was part of a group that founded Candyland, an artist-run gallery in Stockholm, but we also worked a bit like an artist group. So this is a bit similar to Mycelium, I guess. But after 2 years, I think you can lower this one. After a few years, we were together with other artist initiatives getting together to make a collaboration, and we started an art fair for artist-run spaces. And the name is Supermarket. And if you don't know what it is, it sounds like something very commercial, but it's actually the opposite. The focus is not on sales, but it has really two big aims, and one is to make an international exhibition for a broad audience with this kind of festival-like format of an art fair with a lot of performance and things going on. And many of the spaces that participate, they attract more audience in 4 days than they do the whole year because of this. And the second thing is it's a fantastic spot for networking and for exchange of knowledge. And especially when we invite spaces from different countries where there is no cultural funding, or where there is repression, or where there is even war, the exchange between them is much more important than the exchange between the Swedish actors and the ones that we invite. So there are really interesting discussions between people who are from different countries around the world. And new collaborations, because everyone really wants to collaborate in different ways.
Yeah, I want to also, I agree that the most important in this self-organization, it's collaboration with different artists. And in our ways, we start motivate young people who study, for example, in a university in Kherson. And in our city, there is no such more opportunity for young artists to express themselves. So in our case, we create just like a platform in the vision of festival that many young people can express themselves, and no matter what they do, photography, performance, or any kind of art, they can express themselves. And in our way, we start motivate them to take part in our festival. And no, it was a huge support from many people, because it's really, everyone have a potential, really huge potential to make something, but it's no so much motivation in no, from the government, from the politics, from other organization, and we like just like batteries who try to charge everyone to do something. So that's why our community is so huge, because everyone has something to show, something to express. So in this way, I think the self-organization, it's really important in the society, in the modern life, because otherwise you have strictly rules how you need to express yourself, how you need to be yourself, or show your art, show other stuff, and we just like give little freedom in our city. So yeah, maybe you guys want to also add something.
Yeah, I can say that it's we give really huge freedom for people, that they can do whatever they want in art way. For example, there was also one poet, girl, Marina Bakiyeva, who make really great performance with her poets. But she, not for everyone, I can say, but on our festival she can express herself as much as she wants. So, and it was, I think it was first her huge presentation.
Yeah, and when we do these kind of festivals, we explore many artists who was like in underground condition, and society don't accept them because, for example, they have some kind of new expression, new art that many people don't understand. And we try to support them that please don't get sad, you also have a possibility to show yourself.
Yeah, don't get scared.
Yeah, let's say in Ukraine it's not a lot of possibility to create some space to I mean, you know, governors super open to do everything. They provide us a lot of different stuff, but it's no money. You're free to do what you want, but at the same time we haven't money for you guys, so just make your shit and just don't touch us.
Yeah,
just find possibility by yourself. And yeah, we decided to create this space where people who not so, you know, can fight with system, to create our own space where we can just represent artists and find safe place to show up your art.
Yeah, I can say it was really underground fest.
Yes, really
especially
underground.
first one, totally.
I think that everything that you're saying is really leading into the next question that's about this concept of self-organization that can mean so many different things, and it can be done in so many different ways. But my next question to you is basically, what does self-organization mean to you, and how do you self-organize? Now I felt that you described this a lot, but would you like to begin with that question, Andreas, to tell me about what self-organization means to you and how do you perform it?
Well, it's like creating opportunities that are there are so many artists and so few possibilities to exhibit. So that's one reason why I'm part of the space called Candyland. We we offer possibilities to exhibit to other artists, and also thinking like we have a special way of functioning, that we are 9 people dividing the times, and then each one invites one artist on their own choice, and so there is no line, but there is a fantastic flow in this way of working, so that we are still friends after 20 years. Because we didn't have the jury meetings, I think. And those artist initiatives, they exist around the world. That's something we discovered when we started to work with Supermarket, where we look up spaces around the world, and it's really exists everywhere, and in many places where you don't have a contemporary art museum or contemporary private galleries. This responsibility is or the artists are taking responsibility of showing contemporary art in many places. So it's a very important part of the art scene.
Yeah, it really feels like it's somehow correlating to like being an artist and this description of being a fish. Like you're just trying to help each other to find the best route to food or whatever you might need. And what do you think, representatives of Mycelium? Like, would you like to say something more about this concept of self-organization and what it is? Maybe what it isn't also.
No, I want to just agree, because when you say about friendship, I think this is the most important, because when you make a self-organization, and it's meaning that you work together, you must trust each other, you must build some construction together, imagine some dream that you can work together with.
Before it was just idea, you know, we just put some seed and it start grow, like idea with some concept, like create something. We didn't know how shape is it, color or any form of it, and then it's become a Mycelium first time. But before it was just idea to create, everything begin with idea, you know. So it was we didn't planning it at all. It was also some art project on beginning. We didn't, you know, pretend to make some art group, art collective. It was just something what we decided to make, and then it start work. We start find a lot of different nice people, and here, because it's also a lot of different horrible events coming in our country, and somehow, I don't know, it's some miracle, we all in one place, in one moment, and not far away from each other, and we decide like what we can to do. We are artists, we need to talk, we need to do our stuff, so we decide to continue it. It was not so easy, because, you know, it's a new system. Sweden is not Ukraine, Ukraine is not Sweden. It's like, it's pretty similar, and at the same time, it's not so similar. So, yeah, but at first, it was just idea. We didn't know it's becoming something bigger. It was just experiment, and like some art.
And it's always like you put the seeds in the ground, and you never know if it's coming up. You just believe in this.
Yeah, and like Mycelium, it's like, it's about mushroom and stuff like that, but if you translate it in Ukraine, if someone's Ukrainian, Myceli, it's like we are goals, we have some goals, if translated, if you just split it. So everyone had some special goals in this project, so it wasn't something what we managed, it will be like this or something. It's happened so somehow, let's say, everything was somehow. We're just looking for some places, some funding, some people, and everything somehow is our lozung, I don't know, it's our credo.
It was totally improvisation. We don't know that it can grow so much, that we can do it in Sweden.
Yeah, now sitting here, we understand that this seed, it's really grow.
Yeah, I really feel like this description of how an organic process just sort of takes part and it just happens. It's also, to me, very significant of the self-organized art and cultural world, that you don't have this, like, here's the curator is selecting the most popular ones for the moment, here's the manager, here's the whoever, there are all these channels or someone who is employed to do a certain mission, and they do it according to a certain set of rules. Like this very organic way of meeting and seeing each other and working and producing art somehow is also, to me, that's really everything that you said now is very significant, ideal for what's typical for the self-organized art world. So I was also thinking, I wanted to ask you about what the artistic process can look like when you work as a self-organized collective. Like I was wondering, for an example, if working as a group like this, if it affects how you work. Do you still work individually as well as collectively as a group? And which do you prefer? And is there a difference when you produce works individually as opposed to producing works in a group? And I'm thinking, Andreas, that this affects how you work maybe also. What does your artistic process look like, and does it correlate to the groups that you're in?
Well, yeah, we're three directors of Supermarket, and all are artists, all are actually painters. And we work with our own art, but I think all of us, in a way, we see Supermarket, the project, as, in a way, part of our art. It's a kind of activist art to make an art fair like this. And with Candyland, we have been working like an artist group, making projects like a bus tour between different stations where the audience was like getting a lot of surprises, and we are doing street karaoke where we project karaoke videos onto the facade and things like that. And there it is, yeah, there is this different ways of, it's a collaborative artwork. But in a way, I think this, the projects can also be, you can consider them to be part of your art. I'm trying to write that when because it's not very helpful for your own career to collaborate that much. But when I apply for artist grants, I try to claim that this is actually part of my artistic practice to work with the projects as well.
No, I want to also add some. As you see, it's different styles here that we show our art today. It's like a performance, it's a digital art, it's a video art, it's a performance, it's artworks, painting, graphics. And when you make it like alone by yourself, it's one expression, one feeling. But as Nikita said before, when you have goals and you unite it for these goals, it's you create something more than just art. You create a space, you create a vibration that make people think about this collaboration, united, that we can be a totally different person as we are, but when we do something together, it's really united people, not only like us, but it's unite something in your heart. You start not only thinking, but you start feeling what's happened in this case. So just want to say that the collaboration and this self-organization, it must be, and it must happen, because it's create another kind of space.
But if coming back with two questions, which role we have, like, you know, it's nice to have a lot of people in our group because everyone has some stronger parts, and it's nice sometimes to have crew, even if it's just, you know, not permanent. Sometimes some people come, some people go, and stuff like that. But everyone has some strong sides what they can to do in a group. So, for example, my part is usually try to finding, and usually my part is beauty. You know, I'm trying to make everything beautiful and try to create space where it will be. So I'm usually with that part. So everyone, each of us, find that subject what is best one, and other people see it and just follow it. They just trust you. Just do your stuff. And it's nice when it's also about, you know, some symbiosis, some communication inside. It's this art group is also like organism. Everyone like some organs which work in different way and produce different stuff for the whole body, which called mycelium in our case. But yeah, it's like it's so also so intuitive. Sometimes you didn't know actually what you can to do, but then after first project, second project, you can just see what is best for each of person we have. And somehow it's also really intuitive. I don't know how to explain. It's not like someone said like, I'm a boss, and I'm like, say, you're make this one, you're this one. We tried it a couple times, you know, like it doesn't work. Everyone has a huge ego, and you know, like, we fight a lot.
Artists.
We still fight, like our group chat where we're sitting together and like all of us, we just, sometimes it's horrible. You just go there and it's like, just...
But it's part of relationship of the people.
It's also some art process, you know, like to find this beauty solution for everything. It's also, sometimes you need to, for example, some of us coming here, they wasn't invited, for example, but in the same time, I wrote letter, we need these people here, please, can be, but nobody think about it, for example. So somehow it's just come up in my mind when I'm sitting in a bus, and they said, yeah, why not? I need to try. And then, yeah, everyone like, yeah, nice, wow, why didn't think about it before? And it's how it's work. Someone have idea, develop it. If it's nice, it's work and continue. So it's super intuitive sometimes.
Yeah, I really recognize this from, I think, all self-organized contexts that I've ever been in, that it's hard.
Yeah,
but not always. But this really brings us also into our next question, which is what are some of the best and some of the hardest things about working in self-organized group, because in self-organized groups, because I feel like probably we can all recognize this love-hate relationship that you have to this type of organization. What do you say, Andreas? Best and hardest things?
Yeah, we've been constantly underfunded since the beginning, and it's like we're exhausting ourselves. And we're using our peers that work with us, because we're not only 3 people, we're a big team of many of us are artists, and we can't pay ourselves or our team members very well. But we keep doing it because it's very rewarding at the same time.
I can say hardest part it's to come to one decision. It's very, very hard, because guys say, everyone has their own vision of everything and a huge ego, which very hard to complete in one straight decision. But we do our best, even through fights, but somehow, yeah.
Crying sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes fighting and talk with each other for a couple days, but then in the end, you know.
Yeah, everything completely.
I mean, we're still friends, you know, and it's harder part also, because when you're friends, you know, you try to not hurt someone sometimes, but sometimes we need. And it's also like best part to be friend in our group, and at the same time sometimes it's the hardest part, because for example now we have foundation and we'll prepare a project. It's already exists. We're looking for a place to exhibit it, and we decide this time we have curator which will separate and decide stuff. We not fight anymore. Everyone work with curator alone, and it's help a bit to rest but I'm indefinitely sure in one moment we decide to make something together again, and we will find again. And it's normal, organic process for our collective just to fight a bit, ruining some stuff, then rebuild and create something beautiful and workable. It's organic, it's our dynamic in our group, it's super natural.
Yeah, and it's like a human factor. It's like a human factor. You always have a relationship with the people. You can't be all the time in a good relationship. You must have a conflict. You must don't agree with some opinion. No, I think it's relationship. Yeah. No. Sometimes we fight. Sometimes we sit together, talk, and it's we have some solution together, but in the end it's always good because it's also help to grow, because from these conflicts sometimes you have your own project, just your own idea about exhibition, about your vision.
We are super great. Our team is perfect work and everyone is super nice and good.
Yeah.
Can you translate?
Yeah, Anastasia just said that please don't say only about conflict. We also have a good relationship and have a good time. And
but I can say conflicts help us to realize.
She said that's enough conflicts.
I mean, no, everything's so good. I mean,
but you go through some conflicts in end, which in end everyone happy. It's like it's work like this. From down you go to up, and it's really powerful feeling.
It should be really boring without conflicts.
Yeah. If you want to be.
We're also from a south, so you know, like it's super normal for us to fight sometimes.
It's yeah, I mean it's life itself, really. And I also found it interesting the perspective of looking at the whole group work as art, also because there's so many interesting things happening in these group processes. Okay, so we will just take one quick final question before we want to let the audience give us your comments and questions for a few minutes. But I would just like to conclude this conversation with asking the representatives from Mycelium if you would like to say something about what were some of the differences that you experienced in working in the self-organized art world in Ukraine compared to the transition that you made into the self-organized art scene in Sweden?
I can say that in a general way, I don't feel so much different, because in Ukraine we knock every door and just say, hello, we are Mycelium, we want to work together with you, we want to make show some artworks and other stuff. And here I think we do the same, because when we arrive in Sweden, we don't feel like upset that now we in foreigner country, we are refugees, we don't know what to do. No, we just go away, go to the city, start knocking on every door, and that's how we met our really good friend Stina Nilsson, that she's here today, and later you also can see her performance. Yeah, it's we have a lot of stories when we found communication. We not just sit and wait opportunity from the world. No, we just try to communicate with people, make a networking. Maybe that's why we're here today. Also found some new connection, new ways to express ourselves, and found new friends.
I should say probably our experience in Ukraine, when you need to knock on the door and looking for like directly go and like just like open door with a hand like hello, it's me. Here people don't do that, you know, they usually applying, writing letters, waiting for a while. We like more rude, let's say. So usually we just go straight away. For example, with Stina, we just walking and find first gallery coming and like, hello, we are artists from Ukraine, can we make exhibition here? And they just sitting there and like, our schedule is full, but what we can to do for you? Like, let's find some opportunity. So for us it was, and when we talk with local people, they're like, oh wow, you've done a lot, like 2 years, and you like make a lot of different stuff, and we're like, yeah, like because we should do something. And it's how usually we work, just like throw away. It's not super gentle way, I should say. Usually I'm just reading our like dialogues with some galleries and stuff, and I'm just like, oh wow, we're so assholes sometimes. But at the same time, it's work in Sweden also. Just people here are a bit more polite and more like waiting and like try to take rules and stuff like that. Yeah, it should be like that, but you know, after Ukraine, it feels like so slow.
I can say in Sweden, you need to show totally your desire, what you want to do, and you need to provide your exactly what you want to do. You need to tell everything and to be really inspired of what you do, and people see it, people understand it, and people help you to do it. And I love it very much in Sweden about this.
Yeah, if people see you have passion of it, they support a lot. It's true.
And as Nikita say, it's also we from the south, and we like to talk, we like to express ourselves.
Oh yeah, I like to talk, definitely.
I want to help to Anastasia. Okay, Anastasia wants to say that in Ukraine we was more relaxed people because we have a lot of contacts, a lot of friends and like that. But here... And here, when we move to Sweden, we need to be more aggressive, but on a but on another way, more be more open, be more active, be more maybe aggressive, to be an artist, to stay artist.
Less gentle, let's say.
Because we have like zero opportunities, zero connections, contacts with people. It's why it's like
yeah, that. Anastasia also want to say that in Ukraine we was more relaxed because we have our huge networking, we have our families near, our friends, and huge support. And here we must start everything from the zero, from the start. We don't know no one, so we just try to communicate with everyone, and sometimes it look aggressively, but it's just maybe because we're scared to be alone in new country. That's why we try knocking on every door.
You think? I think it's our style, just
like you need to start everything from beginning.
Yeah.
And this is quite hard in new country when you don't know anyone. But now we almost know everyone.
And little bit relaxed.
And I think this is also such a good description of how you can help each other as a group. Like if you're only 1 foot kicking on a door, maybe if it's a thick door, it's difficult to break it. But as a group, and you're all kicking in the doors,
and if someone just like hold it, and then someone's just slitting it, and then somehow
increasing your chances. So you guys, we have actually already run out of time, but thank you so much for that comment. It was also such an interesting description of really what this is all about, like why do you need to self-organize. Maybe we have a little bit of time for a very, very short question from the audience, if we have one.
Marichka.
Hello. It's working. Thank you so much. It was very entertaining. And I have a question. Is there a collaboration between Mycelium and supermarket, or I'm not sure I remember correctly the name of your group. Is there a collaboration between you? Some project?
We just met. So
I hope it comes soon.
Might be,
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
knock in the door.
collaboration in general, it's super interesting, and like we try to collaborate with local people, Swedish people, and also in Tranås we already have a huge community of people who is musicians, and we make some musician event each month with different like bands coming, DJs coming, play music, people come and do different stuff. But at the same time, it's a bit different mentality we have in Ukraine and in Sweden. In Sweden, people like to planning everything. It's so hard to make something spontaneous. Like when you try to collaborate, just ideas start develop so fast, and you just try to bring some local people, and they like, oh wow, this month I can't. I have a lot of stuff to do, and like like okay, next time. We have some permanent Swedish team, like Stina. We have some Kultivera, it's our organization in Tranås and stuff. But in general, sometimes it's hard to collaborate with local. They have a bit different, let's say, dynamic. We're a bit more faster, just because we used to it before. People here more slow and, let's say, chill.
I think it has to happen naturally that you meet, and you will probably meet people that you easily collaborate with.
Yeah, it's also our filter.
Yeah.
How I feel it, I think not so much people ready for improvisation.
Yeah, true.
And
also.
yeah, sometimes it's a problem because most of our projects, it's improvisation totally.
So it's overtime to start clearing the stage for the next part of the program, the performance part of the program. So we are wrapping up the conversation part of the program, and I thank you so much for this super interesting conversation, and start a collaboration, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
we're looking for collaboration.
Microphone on? Yes. All right, thank you so much for this very inspiring conversation. It reminds me of Mycelium. Actually reminds me a little bit of our partner organization, the Theatre of Playwrights in Kyiv, because they are actually 20 playwrights that organize themselves in order to get more control over what's going to happen to their text. They want to make their own free theater and organize it themselves, and they are up to now very successful. Many plays have been written, many shows have been played in their venue in Kyiv despite the war. So more about that in the next Ukraine artistic meeting on 6th November. Well, now we are going to have a see and take part of a performance. And Sergei, you wanted to come and introduce them who are doing it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nina. I want to introduce our good friend, Stina Nilsson. She's our Swedish friend, maybe our first person who we knock on the door. And she opened this door and invite us to make an exhibition in her space. And this evening, we really like to invite her here, that she also show her art and share with you her energy. Maybe not so many words because it's all in her moves. So this evening you can watch the performance of Stina and Anton together because they are really good to collaborate together and make a really interesting show. So I'm glad to welcome on the stage Stina Nilsson.
and Anton Kosei with a music improvisation.